It's only Monday morning. Earnings haven't even started, and we already have a lot of AI stock news from Microsoft, OpenAI, Amazon, Iron, Aehr Test Systems, Cipher Mining, and the list goes on. And we're going to take a closer look at all that in today's episode. So let's get started.
I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video, and check out fool.com/Jose for the 10 best stocks to buy now. With that link, you get a promotional offer for the subscription service. Now, let's continue with today's episode.
All right, so this is going to be an episode of all the recent news we've had in just the past 12 hours or so. It probably hasn't even been that long in the AI market. And I want to cover it now because if I don't do it, we already have a lot of earnings this week. I probably won't have the time. So we're going to start off with Microsoft. So Microsoft, and the market is pulling back. I am going to say I'm actually excited for seeing a pullback even after all these great news because I do believe in the overall long term. This is the time where I actually wouldn't mind selling puts on certain stocks, right? Just to either lock in great premium or lock in the opportunity to get them at a cheaper share than they are right now. All right. So the first news is Microsoft. They have a massive $15.2 billion US dollar investment in the UAE. Now, this is an investment that started in 2023 and is expected to end in 2029. They actually break it down that they have already spent a nice amount of money there, but they still have a good portion, about 7.9 billion more to spend in the UAE till 2029. Now, the most important thing about this is that Microsoft announced that they are the first company under the Trump administration to secure export licenses from the Commerce Department to ship GPUs to UAE. And they're not just talking about any type of GPUs. In the instance, they are even expected to ship GB300 GPUs to UAE. So this is kind of the first bullish take, in my opinion, where we're seeing NVIDIA chips going to certain parts of the world that they weren't allowed before. And the reason Microsoft is one of the first players to do is because Microsoft, under the Biden administration, if I believe correctly, they kind of talk about it, under the Biden administration, they were also one of the first companies to have certain of these GPUs. And one of the things that's happening is it seems like the Trump administration and other administrations do similar is they don't just send the GPUs and have some of the players there build some of the UAE independent companies build their own data center. What ends up happening is a US company ends up being a proxy to those data centers, either through a joint venture owning the data center themselves. And that proxy in this part for the UAE is Microsoft. So this is definitely something that we can continue to see outside of Microsoft. We can see other cloud service providers also have similar deals in the future. But we see NVIDIA is up roughly 3% on the day, while some other stocks are pulling back a little bit right now. Now, staying here with Microsoft, Iron did announce a deal as well. And the stock was up over 20%, but since then has given up over 9% of its gains. Market cap of $18 billion. They announced a massive contract with Microsoft. And this is what we keep discussing in this channel. We hear power is constrained. And we've been talking about this not just recently since it's become popular. This is something discussed in this channel for various months already. Now the market is finally picking up. Unfortunately, sometimes we're too early for our own good. But Iron right now, 9.7 billion contract value, 5-year, 20% prepayment, 200 megawatt data center IT load. IT load is different from power load. Overall, it gives us that news, right? That topic that the AI market is still very early. I mean, we just heard it from earnings last week from these big players. So these are going to be filled with NVIDIA GB300 GPUs. So another bullish sentiment here for NVIDIA. Now, if you want to join a community of AI and semiconductor investors and looking into deep analysis, earnings, all types of analysis, deep dives, just community to share a lot of news, make sure to check out whatthechip.com. I just started this community right now. As it is starting, I have a founding member offer of 50% off your annual subscription as is being built. This offer is not going to last any much longer. I'm going to start ending it once we start getting to 100 subscribers. Right now, we are at over 80 subscribers right now. The community is going pretty quickly and we're adding new features. So if you're curious and want more knowledge in the AI and semiconductor market, make sure to check out whatthechip.com. Now, this to me is a favorite of mine. Aehr Test System. I've talked about this, but it's not as popular. But still, one day I feel like it will. One day I feel like this company will be discussed in the AI space. So right now the stock is down roughly 1.3%. But Aehr Test System and ISE Labs announced a partnership on wafer level test and burn-in for high performance computing and artificial intelligence processors. For those that are not familiar, Aehr Test System is a company that makes equipment that is used for pretty much stress testing chips. Now, this is very important because this is at wafer level, and wafer level is very much at the beginning of a chip manufacturing business. The reason this process the reason this is crucial is now as AI chips are becoming more complex to make, more expensive. If you are someone manufacturing AI chips, you're going to want to catch it early before catching it too late and using a lot of these resources that you probably could have saved for better chips. So ISE is actually a subsidiary of, I'm pretty sure I just butchered that name completely. Let me know in the comments below that I'm a fool for that, of ASE, which is a leading provider of outsourced semiconductor assembly and test services. I was just at a event or conference for the semiconductor market. One thing that was completely repeated over and over and over is yields need to improve. We need to find better ways to increase the availability of finding where the errors happen, because that will save a lot of money in this multi-$100 billion business. And I think Aehr Test System is going to play a really good role there. This is one that I am going to keep a closer eye on right now. Might even think about adding into this one more into my overall portfolio. Now, next we have Amazon. And with Amazon, the stock is up roughly 4.4%, almost 5% as I am recording. The main reason they did announce a partnership, multi-year partnership with OpenAI. Now, this partnership is expected to be roughly a $38 billion agreement, and it's going to be using NVIDIA GPUs. So interesting, right? Amazon had all this to talk about Trainium during their earnings call, but here we see this amazing partnership with OpenAI, mainly focusing in GPUs. In the future, there could be a possibility of maybe OpenAI eventually using Trainium chips, but all the capacities target to be deployed before the end of 2026. It will immediately start using AWS compute right now, and the ability to expand further into 2027 and beyond. Right now, though, it is for the GB200s and the GB300s. So very bullish here for Amazon. The stock is also up. Now, we also saw that Amazon was compute constrained, just like every other player. And Cipher actually reported earnings. The stock was up roughly 15%. It's up 15% today, down roughly 13% from its peak. Cipher earnings, I'm going to cover the deep dive on my community. I don't have time to do all these on YouTube, but Cipher today announced an approximately $5.5 billion 15-year lease agreement with AWS. So they are providing a turnkey space and power for AI workloads. Now, remember, these are the ones that are just providing the power shells. Amazon comes in later on and provides their own forms of GPUs that they want. But Amazon is doing this because they need that power. They need that capacity. It's overall very bullish for the AI space. And congratulations to all Cipher Mining shareholders. Like I mentioned, I will be covering this on my community later today. Now, additionally to that, they also did form a joint entity to develop a 1 gigawatt site named Coaches in West Texas. They're going to own roughly 95% equity ownership. But again, what we're seeing is power is still very crucial. Cipher has some great plays there, and they're doing really well. Year to date, the stock is up roughly 345%. So again, it's only Monday, not even Monday afternoon. I probably will be releasing this video before 1 o'clock. But so much has happened, and we have so many crazy earnings today, tomorrow, this week, that you're going to want to stay tuned to this channel. So take care, have a good day, and see you all next time.